LSS, have you lost your mind? Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I can't believe that LSS has decided to go so heavy-handed with this. I don't think I would have predicted this, especially after their last BNR just a couple of months ago. They said they were going to be heavy-handed with the start of like needle ban and everything, but they were really hands-off because, to be fair, the meta's been pretty good. And I think even now the meta has been good, and it's no secret that maybe they would shake things up a bit. And hey, would you look at this? We have a bunch of bans here, and some of them I really agree with. Some of them I don't know what they're thinking. But hey, you know what? We can get in here, get into the reasoning. There are a couple of things I want to talk about. I've already went ahead and read this, so I've just been taking it in for the past hour, really trying to understand what they're going with. But hey, they said the next one's gonna be in November, so we'll see. We'll go into this with a bit of an open mind. I think they're a little crazy, but let's start. So first here, I gotta point out the Bonds of Agony right here at the top. And when we come down, we read their reasoning. They just talk about how right here, it's the damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, where it feels like an unfun gameplay experience. And I'm kind of there with them just a little bit, where Bonds of Agony can feel really impossible to block when you have 4 cards behind it. And I'm torn, because the way I've played a lot of Assassin, and as an Assassin player, I kind of know how to block it, and I also understand that getting hit with one really powerful Bonds turn doesn't mean you lose, it just means you got hit by a power turn. And you do lose momentum after that power turn. It's like getting hit with a double Blood Rush Bellow from a Levia, right? These type of power turns exist, and I think that players, they have a lot more power to deny this than they think. But we come to the whole fun gameplay experience, and let me be real, I think that Flesh and Blood, the most appealing part about it is that it's like a Dark Souls experience. This is a trading card game that you hop into, not to just have a casual fun time. This is a game you come to get your teeth kicked in, frankly, and Bonds of Agony just gives Assassins that type of power, and I'm kind of concerned that Bonds of Agony ban is just going to pull them back way too much. I've seen some friends say it's maybe 5-10%. I think it's possible it's 15%. At this point, I don't think Uzuri is playable. Not that they were playable, you know, the other Arachne. But now I think that both Marionette and Slippy are gonna have a much harder time to really catch up in the game. I just don't know, I don't know how well that's gonna scale. I'm not sure that LSS was this. I saw like both Sloop Dupe and DM Armada, sorry for calling you guys out. You guys are saying, oh, it's too much power here. No, I don't think it's too much power. I just think that players need to learn how to block this card. And it's just a challenge that players have to overcome. And maybe it doesn't feel fun. But hey, now they're just going to the gym or going for a run. That stuff doesn't feel fun, but man, does it feel great when you pull it off. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm a little critical of this. And one reason why I'm critical of this is we're gonna skip all of this and go down to the bottom. It's the Germinate unban. Now, LSS is kind of still sticking to their guns a little bit here, saying that we still believe that Everbloom Life and Germinate's gonna give them the best end game out of every hero, and it's like, okay, sure, let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. I genuinely think that come November, they're gonna unban Bonds of Agony. I don't think that it was a good ban personally. I think that you should have hit. I think that if you were going to hit anything, it's Take Up the Mantle. I think that Take Up the Mantle is a little bit more of an unfun experience because now Assassins have 2 separate cards that give recursion, and now a player has 6 of their best cards rather than just 3. I don't know. I just think that Take Up the Mantle, just saying, hey, this is an additional of whatever of your best stealth cards you have is good, but I think banning Bonds kind of just destroys Mantle too. Like, there's really no teeth or threat behind Mantle anymore. That's why I think come November, what they might actually do is bring back Bonds of Agony and take away Mantle, because I think Mantle is combined with Bonds of Agony is the far more unfun, unenjoyable gameplay experience, because it is so difficult to just stare down a random stealth card, say no blocks, get flicked, marked, and now suddenly it's a Bonds of Agony for 15. I understand how that's not fun. But that's a take up the mantle problem, not a bonds problem. And yeah, sure, the problem with bonds, like they said, is if you come behind it with 4 cards, it's terrifying to stare down, you don't know what to do. Part of me feels the same way about other things in the game, like a CNC with 2 floating and a card in arsenal. Like you're like, oh, I block with 2, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't in that scenario, right? Like, why is it that in this scenario it's that case? And getting CNC pummeled 3 times in a row isn't fun either. I don't know. I think they're overblowing it because this is their front and center. And it kind of gets a little bit of this with Gravy Bones, where this is the front and center hero. So everybody's just seeing this and thinking, oh, they're just so overpowered. It's just so strong. We have to stop it here. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit too much. But I think I've exhausted my conversation on Bonds of Agony. I'll probably talk a bit more about it in the future in a different video, talking about how to block it, or the real problem with Flesh and Blood, in my opinion, which is that you have a whole slew of heroes from Fab 2.0 that simply lack teeth, that are just not strong. So they get overshadowed by all of these Fab 2.5 heroes, and rightfully so, because those Fab 2.0 heroes aren't doing anything. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna move forward with the next part, right? We're gonna go talk about Golden Tipple, both Golden Tipple Red and Yellow. I have been calling for this since Gravy's release. It's not because Golden Tipple is an incredibly good card, which it is. It's because of the deck thinning causing these fables to get way out of control in price. But let me be real. I played Gravy Bones at my local armory yesterday with 9 Golden Tipples in my deck, and the amount of times I was able to just freely cycle and draw through my whole deck, which I still think is part of the problem, I looked at my opponent's graveyard, I looked at my graveyard, and I'm like, hold up a second. I have like 15 cards card advantage on this guy, seeing everything I needed to see, being able to dig 4 cards deep into my Conqueror of the High Seas. Yes, I 100% agree with them here that the ability to dig through your gold and get that crazy payoff with Golden Tipple, getting the hero back, 100% agree with this ban. I'm a little shocked that they hit 2 colors. I would have been fine if they just hit red or just hit blue, but hitting both red and yellow seems a little overtuned, as one might say. But hey, like they said, there's still time. They're gonna give time for Worlds, see how all these things shake up and stuff, and how it's gonna impact the strongest players. Because really, this ban here, I'll be real guys, this isn't a Gravy Bones ban. This is a strong player nerf. They even say so right here. Right here where they talk about how it's hard, competitors like Michael Hamilton, Arthur Treya, Enki, Shiru, in the right hands, these decks get out of control. So this is them saying, we're going to level the playing field a little bit for some of you regular players, which I can appreciate that. And that same thing plays out at local armories too, where the best Gravy Bones player probably rises above everything else and really hurts the local gameplay experience, which frankly, I care more about personally, but I do love the competitive scene, don't get me wrong. But they did say something really cool here, where they're talking about Marlin. I want to highlight it for you. I actually copy pasted it. They're talking about Marlin and how this actually really hurts Marlin, understandably so. But they were comfortable with doing this because they think that not only will Super Slam have an impact, but support arriving in sets that follow. So I don't think the expansion slot is actually effective at patching up heroes too well. It's very rare that that happens. But them saying this makes me think that the set coming January is gonna have Ranger. I think that Ranger's coming up, guys. That's gonna be my prediction now. January set will have Ranger in it. Maybe an Armory deck with a Ranger in it. I don't know. I read the Valda story, and coming behind Jarl was another Ranger with lightning capabilities. So like, hey, maybe they do another Armory deck Origins and it's a Ranger, despite the fact I want it to be a Dromai Armory deck, but so far I've pretty much lost hope that she's anywhere close to coming out, and I'm just gonna believe it when I see it. So in the meantime, I'll hold that. Anyway, I think Golden Tipple Red and Yellow is a good ban for balancing the strong players. Maybe a little over too much by getting rid of the other 3, but that's okay. I called it, telling all of you guys this was the ban, and they even talk about banning Saltwater Swell, red, yellow, and blue in here. Okay, now we're really stepping forward a bit, saying, hey, we might need to nerf 9 whole cards from Gravy Bones kit. 9. Oh my god, hold on, no, 15, sorry. 6 plus 9 is 15. Math while streaming's hard, guys. Sorry, don't do it. Anyway, 15 whole cards from Gravy Bones. Might have to see a ban, which tells you just how overtuned the pirate class might be. So that's pretty big. Okay, this Bloom of Evergrowth ban is actually pretty good. I can't argue with this. I like it. Because it makes a lot of sense with their reasoning that you don't want to be able to overtune her and make her so strong that she's going to just kill people from very consistently high levels of damage, being able to fetch the Earth card from grave and then send 9, 10, 11 points of damage on your opponent's turn. Totally fair, totally get it. Rampant Growth Life is slightly nerfed, that's fine. I personally didn't like the combo anyway. It's just more of like a, hey, you kind of need this in order to beat certain matchups. But they're nerfing a bunch of heroes, so that makes a lot of sense. Talk a Big Game is banned. All right, this one totally saw coming. Not the card itself, but their reasoning. We're preemptively banning this card that has never seen play before, nobody cares about, nobody even thinks about. We're banning it so that it never becomes a problem, and maybe one day they bring it back. Totally fair. And then we already talked about Germinate. This one, let's get a little bit more into Germinate. I'm a little unconfident that they just banned it and brought it back, right? So specifically from Florian's perspective, they banned it, they brought it back, and I was like, okay, are you guys just trying to stop him from getting LL points? That could be it. I don't know. I'm happy they brought Germinate back. I've been calling for Germinate to come back. It never made sense to me that you'd take it away. I de-sleeved my Florian deck as soon as they banned it because Germinate's like one of the funnest parts of the deck. It's building up to this end game. That's his whole point. And I think it's okay to give Florian an insanely powerful end game. That's totally fine. We give other heroes very strong mid games, very strong early games. It's okay to have some heroes with really strong late games. Blitz, we don't care about Blitz. Everybody knows my opinion on this, and if you don't, I don't like Blitz. Sorry guys, I prefer Project Blue or soon to be Silver Age. That's when I'll be really excited. Blitz can go away. Now, to Living Legend. This part's important because Worlds is coming up. Deadwood Dirge is unrestricted. Really big change, really good change. I like that they're kind of now modifying Living Legend a bit more. They had a battle-hardened Living Legend in Orlando, just a few hours north of me. In fact, one of my friends, Andrew Wilborn, won it. So congratulations, Andrew. Very happy for you that you were able to take that away. Gonna have an interview with him. We're gonna talk a bit about experience. I'm not gonna do it on this channel. It'll be on Righteous Gaming's channel, so go subscribe to that if you haven't already. And then coming this Thursday, yeah, that's when I'll film it. I don't know when I'll post it. So we'll get to it anyway. Thanks for joining me, Thanks for joining me, everybody. If you haven't yet, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about these bans. What should get unbanned? What's coming up next for the game? And I'll see you on the next one.